Hey y'all, it's Abroad on a Budget, and I am checking in at the end of my second week of this no spend challenge I've put myself on. Just as a reminder, I'm trying to spend 30 bucks a week here in Sweden for everything. So, no, it's not $30 a week for groceries or $30 a week Monday to Friday. It is $30 a week for anything that I have to spend money on that is not my rent, my cell phone, my gym membership, or my Spotify subscription. So, jumping right into it, as a reminder, the first week I did really well. I only went, this is $1.40 US dollars over budget. And I went over budget because I got eggs on this super deep discount, and I only get one carton of eggs every 2 weeks because I get a 15 pack. So I decided to buy it when it was at super deep discount so that it would carry me over to this week, which it's pretty good I did, because this week I actually, as you can see, went over my budget by 343 Swedish crowns. That is about $40. So I went more over budget than my budget is budgeted for. I'm supposed to spend 30 and I spent 40 over that. So let's see why. If you'll recall, in my week one wrap up video, which I'll put the link down below, I had mentioned that I was feeling really good about it, but I was feeling also a bit nervous because, as you can see here in week one, all I bought was groceries. That's it. And I didn't go crazy on groceries. This is about $15 maybe. This is about $8. This is about 3 or 4. And I still went $1.40 over budget. So my $30 budget became $31.40. But I did mention in this video, when I was talking about my spending for this week and how it was going, that I was really nervous about, well, what's going to happen when I have to buy something other than groceries? And in my mind, I thought, well, when I have to buy something other than groceries, I'll just really walk everything else back and I'll eat super simply. Let's see how that went. So in week two, again, my grocery expenditures were fairly similar. And this was I got some stuff on discount. There was some like short, some cheese that was about to expire. I got honestly the worst bread I've ever eaten in my entire life since I moved in Sweden. It tasted, and my boyfriend attested to this, I like really good bread. So I thought, well, maybe I'm just being picky. And he ate some of it for breakfast and he was just like, this is honestly terrible. It tasted like it was already stale, because it was just such cheap bread. So this was even with buying like cardboard bread and discount cheese, and relying heavily on what I already had in my pantry and in my freezer. One thing that came up this week as well, I had run out of pain relief. I got my period this week. So this was the absolute cheapest package of Tylenol that I could get. I ran out of peanut butter and jelly this week. I did say here, well, I could have waited, but actually, no, because if you'll recall, this week I am on my Easter break. And instead of spending the $1,200 I had budgeted for it, I decided to do a staycation and to save all that money. But I have 6 working days off from work, and I usually get free lunch at work. So I actually ran out of food this week. And I don't mean like there's no food in my entire house, but what I mean is I thought I'd have a certain amount of meals, but I work out every day. And when I'm doing a staycation, I tend to do much longer workouts because it's just something to do. I can be in the gym longer. I think it's fun and I try new things. I've been going on really long walks, so I've been super hungry. So my meal plan, I've been eating basically an extra meal every day. And I ended up eating like 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches this week. I did go to Lidl. So this is for a huge container of peanut butter, a huge container of jelly. That's about $5, which is really, really cheap for here in Sweden. Here's where things just kind of fell apart. I've been doing a huge decluttering and cleaning out project because I am home. I'm also trying not to spend money. And I find that when I'm doing no spend things, I like to clean out my stuff. And there was a shelf that had fallen off of actually, it's right here behind me. It had fallen off of the wall and it fell off about a month ago. And I just haven't gotten around to fixing it. And in my mind, a staycation is exactly the kind of the time when you should be doing projects like this around the house. So I went to the store and I got these screws for the shelf. Here are some things I didn't need. This notepad for the fridge. I use it all the time. It's like this, it's a magnetic strip and it looks like a piece of notebook paper. I love it. I use it all the time. And I wanted another one for my freezer. And when I went to get my friend's birthday present, I saw that there was only one left. And it's at this local store that just gets in random stuff seasonally and then it disappears. So I thought, oh, I have money in the budget. I'll just grab this. But that was, when I was right here. And then all of this happened afterwards. So realistically, didn't need to spend that 30 crown. But I mean, I went 343 crown over budget. So that still wouldn't have brought me down. What really got me this week was I had to buy my travel card. This is 124 crown, about $14. And I have to buy them in a pack because they're cheaper. Again, could I have bought one when I needed the one train ticket? Yes, but I'm not going to spend more money than I need to per train ticket just so I can arbitrarily meet this challenge. And then this I didn't need to do technically, but again, it was at a 50% off price. I've never seen it this cheap in Sweden in 2 years. It was a big, huge container of chicken breasts for about $6.50. And again, I could have ignored it and said, nope, I'm doing a no spend. But I would have known, 2 weeks from now when I went to the grocery store and I had to spend $10 on chicken, I would have been thinking about like this chicken I passed up on principle. So I got the chicken. Here's what I absolutely did. So I did not need to get this thing for the refrigerator. I could have just said, well, I guess you'll never have another one of those. But again, it's something I use all the time. It does help me save money because I know what's in my fridge or my freezer, but those are justifications. I didn't need that. Again, I wanted to do this project while I was off work and had time for it. Now, here's where these two, realistically, this 70 and this 60, I just didn't need to spend it. So that would have taken like 130 crown off of this. And then I would have been only over my budget by my actual budget. But I did tell you, as I said, that I was running out of food. So I was eating kind of random scraps and bits. I was being a little Templeton rat. And I did also mention that I had to pick this up because I was on my period. So we have this week where I am not spending on anything. I'm also not eating sugar. And I'm doing all these projects. And I also have a pile of grading to do. So human weakness, I broke down one night. I went to the grocery store and I got a pizza and a bag of arugula because I like to throw arugula on top of a pepperoni pizza. But I got a frozen pizza. I didn't eat out. I could have gotten my favorite pizza for more than twice that much, which was in the exact same shopping mall, by the way. So my favorite pizza place was here. The grocery store was here. I said, nope, you're not doing it. Go get the frozen pizza. So that's why I wrote actually a success considering. But here is where I just flat out broke my rule and went to a coffee shop. I had to do about 15 hours of grading essays. I don't know if any of y'all are teachers out there, but grading essays is so challenging for me because I love reading my students' work, but it's so exhausting to sit for hours and hours and hours and give feedback. And what I often will do is I'll go to a coffee shop. I will spend about $5 or $6, but I'll sit there and I'll work for 5 to 6 hours straight. It's just a different location. I put my headphones in. Even if I'm chained to my desk, I still feel like I'm being social. So that's what I did. Again, it was at the end of the week. I was having cravings. I had already worked for 2 days on the grading. I think a part of me was like, you know what, I'm already over budget. Just at least I can get something out of it. And it had been raining for 2 days straight. And I just said, no, forget this. I'm getting out of my house. I'm going to go to my favorite little cozy coffee shop. And I did. I sat there for 5 hours and I got all my work done. And then I came home and I ate a bunch of weird leftovers. They're like freezer burned in my freezer and a weird can of beans. So it didn't trigger like this spending free fall. So that's how it was this week. I went $40 over my $30 budget, but I don't know. I guess I should have known that might be coming if I have to buy anything other than groceries. So thanks for checking in. Hopefully next week goes much better. Bye.